Tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio, dropping knowledge in the studio you already know.
Thank you for tuning in to Chaos Culture Radio. This is your boy Prince Hakeem.
And this is your man Ronnie Ron. Hey Hakeem, today is a special day, isn't it?
Special day. It's always a special day when you have black women on the show with us. Queen.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Highlighting their success, their endeavors, you know what I mean? Especially, without them, we are nothing. You know what I mean? And, we like to do this. This is a specialty to us to, highlight people, especially in our own city, who's out here getting the bag. You feel me?
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of interesting. Like every day I'm sending out emails to even men, and no man ever respond back. But it seems like the women are more hungry than the men.
But it seems like that. It very much seems like that. So fuck you, puss ass niggas. That's my that's my letter to y'all. You whole milk toast butter crunch ass niggas. Okay, that's all I got to say on that. Okay.
Yeah. So Hakeem, who is this guest that we got on the show today?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna let her do it because I know I'm gonna butcher your name. I know I'm gonna butcher it.
Look, I figured you would. So okay, but my name is Aynthia Merrill. I'm the author of The True Mind of a Billionaire, and yeah, so I'm here.
Yeah, and mind you guys, she's not only a book author, but she actually do hair and nails as well. It was very interesting. She doing all things.
Minks. I don't even know what a mink is, to be honest with you. I say she does minks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so look, I take heed that y'all read my bio pretty well, huh?
Oh yeah, definitely. And you're very well dressed.
Yeah, very well.
Very well dressed. A lady, I must say. Back in the days, I'm a little bit older than you, but down south, the way you dress, we used to call those Southern belles like a debutante. You know what I'm saying?
My guy friend called me a banker.
Oh yeah.
He says there go my banker right there. So yeah. I guess.
Yeah, because she wearing suits, fitted. It looks good. She looks really good, gentlemen. Really good.
Definitely. Not like a lot of women we see in our city today. That's why I said when I looked, I thought I was on the wrong Instagram page. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm from the city too, so
you don't look like it though. You don't look like you look like you from Aventura looking like that.
Not amateur.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is a prime example. You work hard, look how you become. You know what I'm saying? And it's good to see a woman like that. It's just like, wow, amazing.
No, definitely.
Amazing.
Well, thank y'all. Thank y'all for the compliments.
So go ahead, Hakeem.
No. You about to ask it too. You about to ask it the same question. We want you to start off by introducing yourself, letting people know where you're from. We do have listeners all over, you know what I mean? And to be specific, like, you from just let them know where you from, the name of your organization, what do you do? And,
Okay. So I'm from Miami. However, I moved and I reside in Alabama right now. I work for a nonprofit organization. It's called Youth Build. And also I have my own things I dibble and dab in. The thing that I didn't tell y'all that I'm actually a social worker. So I work with my community and help build them up. So for me, coming from the city and moving to Alabama, it gave me the opportunity to see both sides. Like, you know how some people say they live on both sides of the railroad track? That's what it gave me the opportunity. And that's what made me create the book, The True Mind of a Billionaire, because the youth that I work with right now, they're able to see, the rips and runs that I had, that I encountered myself growing up and to become the woman I am today, the suits and the dresses and the Southern belle that you see now. So yeah.
Mexico, what part of Alabama you in?
Okay, so I don't want to say the direct part that I'm in.
Of course.
I attended Troy University. So I'll say, yeah.
No, the thing is, because I've lived in Alabama too. So that's why I said, like, oh, you in Alabama? Like, I don't know if you was in Mobtown, Montgomery, Birmingham. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Montgomery now. So is that what you consider Mobtown?
No, Mobtown is Mobile. Like, not Mobtown, that's what they call Mobtown, Mobile. Because, as soon as you go up the Panhandle, you're going to hit Mobile first, like Daphne and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I haven't been to Mobile, but I've heard a good bit about Mobile. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know that's where the last slave ship was hitting, right in Mobile, Alabama. There's still some residents there who are really descendants from Africa.
Really?
Yep. It's a whole story behind it. Yeah.
Look, good. Hey, maybe you could come teach me a little something.
Definitely.
I love history. Have you been to the Legacy Museum in Montgomery yet?
No, I haven't. I was in Montgomery for the wrong reasons, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm very candid about those things. You know what I mean? I used to hustle, and I've been so many different places, and Alabama was one of them. You know what I mean? So yeah. But I've heard about that, but I have been to African Town in Mobile. That's what I'm saying. If you go to Mobile, there's a whole nother rich history of there too. So
I must visit.
no, definitely. So now, honing into that, what is your particular organization name? Because I know it says Al Beauty Organization. Is that what it's?
Yes, ALM Beauty Organization is my own. My name is Aynthia Merrill. And so I use it to empower women in my community. So like y'all talked about the minks and the nails and the lashes. So I do mummy makeovers sometimes for new moms and moms who can't afford to get their hair done all the time. And it gives them an opportunity to feel, beautiful again. And so, and also I pour into high school girls and stuff like that if they need their hair done for prom, graduation, birthdays, stuff like that. I tend to give back like that.
No, that's what's up. Now, let me ask you a question. Do you see a difference from being from Miami and seeing how Alabama is? Because I know Alabama's a lot more slower. Do you see that? Do you think, can you compare and contrast? You think we have the similar issues and problems, or you could say that we're just 10x over here when it comes to that bullshit?
I don't know. Alabama kind of turning up a little bit here. It's getting closer to the summer, so I mean, it's not as bad as Miami. It's very slow here. But you do have your parts. You have like Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, and stuff like that. That's they got their own set of problems, and then you have a little towns where I go, and they have their own problems. Like I said, they're kind of turning up because it's getting closer to the summer. So I don't know. I just
but what is your comparison between Alabama and Florida? Because those are two different demographics of Black people. So where you see the comparison at or the contrast?
So in my book, I kind of talk about this a little bit. Here I see more people going to college and building businesses and stuff. And in Miami, it's kind of like get it how you live. You see the boosters and the scammers and stuff like that.
You better say it, baby, because I'm a product of it.
Speak on it.
Speak on it.
I see both sides of it. And that's what I always tell. And I'm trying not to talk too much and hint on too much because I am a social worker too. So I'm trying to, keep it kind of level. But yeah, I kind of tell my students that all the time. It's a difference. But yeah, that's the difference. So
but you feel like it's a difference to the worse or a difference to the better? Because it's kind of good to hear two different demographics of Blacks, because you read about it, you see people do interviews and they be like, Black people in Miami, they tend to just stay want to keep staying hood. Then people in someone like in Alabama or South Carolina, like they more head-minded, like they're trying to build things, they're trying to elevate themselves. So me and Hakeem, what we're trying to do is we're trying to bring some of that culture down here to Miami.
Well, like I said, up here, when I moved here from Miami, I've seen more people like married. I've seen more families, more people owning homes, stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of that here. But, as a social worker, I really see what's really going on as well. So I don't quite put it in words.
Yeah, we won't speak on it. But I want to. I'm very interested about your book because you say it's a billionaire mindset. I want to know what made you come up with the title Billionaire Mindset.
Okay, so for me, since I was young, I lived in Liberty City or whatever. Since I was young, people used to always tell me I was different from my friends. I was different from my family and stuff like that. And so, growing up, people would call me like old lady or, they had their ways of explaining me, but I could talk to people's problems. And so the true mind of a billionaire came from like spiritual riches. It's not finances, like it's not monetary, it's spiritual riches. And so the true mind of a billionaire is the person that gives, the person that, they're it's so much I could say. It's just like they're wise. They can see things before they happen. So when I say a true mind of a billionaire, I ain't talking about money. I'm talking about something that money can't even buy.
And most of this, the true minds of a billionaire, do they come from like the book of Proverbs, from the Bible, or just come from your own personal experience?
It's my own personal experiences. It talks about my journey from coming from Miami, moving to Alabama. It talks about my journey from, high school, my own educational gaps. A lot of people where I come from in Miami, like some of them don't even graduate. Some of them get the little diploma with no slip in the diploma, So it's just like we all had our own educational gaps. So it talks about that a lot. I feel like I'm drifting a little bit.
No, you're not drifting. It's okay. No, we trust me, on this podcast, you're gonna be very comfortable. Get your wines ready.
Basically. But I'm about to butcher your name again. Can I call? What's your nickname? You got a nickname?
I can't tell y'all my nickname.
Okay. I'm gonna just call you Miss Awesome. You know what I'm saying? Miss Awesome.
He said Miss Awesome.
Miss Awesome. That's the best way I can go. So now here's the thing. What I want to know: how did you get into the beauty thing, and how did you encompass the beauty with your book and stuff like that? How did that all mesh well? Because I see, as I'm going over your Instagram, I see you got like a brand going that is infused with that. Give me a little bit more on that.
Okay. So, I did hair. Okay. So I'm a sibling of 11. And when you got a house full of kids, you ain't getting everything you want. So I found a love in doing hair. And so at about 11 years old, I was making money doing hair. I was doing my best friend's hair. I was doing her sister's hair. And that's how I kind of, had money to spend and do what I need to do as a, female. And so the book came into place because I always knew as a child, I used to write plays. I wrote a play for my church. And so the book was always going to be, but hair, that's something I always had. I guess that's the hustle in me. Coming from Miami, we all hustle. We got a hustling spirit. So that's we got it.
How did your family react to you wanting to like as far as it's changing your life, moving away? I know I'm gonna ask like a bunch of questions in one just to give you time to talk. And what was their whole perception of, you moving away, changing your life, writing this book, your friends, like how did they perceive you?
So, first, my family, I don't think they had an issue with me moving away because I moved pretty frequent. My mom, she seemed pretty hurt about it. She really didn't want to sign me over to my grandma, but she ended up signing me over to her. It was the best decision she could have made for me. My friends, I don't know. I think they always felt as if I was different, so it was really no change to them. I guess they always knew I would be something too. So they was just like, okay. And yeah. Y'all.
So your family was very supportive of you, like moving away. Cause most family be like, no, I don't want you going anywhere. I want you to stay in Miami for the rest of your life. They
was pretty supportive. Now they tend to think that I don't like Miami because I never come home. But I'm just, for me, it's not I don't want to come home. It's just that, I got things I got to do.
Hey, trust me, he could tell you I was gone for 11 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
11 years. So when you leave and you get caught up in the mix over there, especially like you being a new type of person in an area, people get drawn to that. You know what I'm saying? Because, I was dropping my nuts where I was at, like locking shit down. So I can understand you being from Dade, you going to go to Alabama and they not going to be able to handle that. You quick talking, stepping on toes, like, hey, let's do this, and that, da, 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 da. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy that you said it because when I get around a lot of people, they be like, you think different. And I'm like, what does that mean?
you had no choice. You have no choice coming from, you see, the thing is, and I want to tell you, and I want to see if you agree with me here. I don't think a lot of people understand we're very segregated here. So regardless of what anybody think, it's not as kumbaya you think. You in the city, you live in the city, Haitians living over there, and the Hispanics has always been on top of us. And then as far as the opportunity for jobs has never been prevalent. So when you say that you had to do hair to make money, I could resonate to that. You know what I mean? I was cutting yards and, you know what I mean, washing cars and doing this and that to try to put myself on and until the street life was introduced to me. And then I was okay, I got to pick up that gun now. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know what I mean? From that standpoint, I think that is a level of experience that a lot of people outside of Miami won't never understand, to let kids know, like, don't get me wrong, everybody got their own issues, but here is like, we're somewhat and compared to the South, we're a little bit like somewhat like Chicago, you can sense, in a sense, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean?
So,
That's
go ahead.
No, I was just about to say that's deep.
Yeah. So I can understand you going to, like, to be honest with you, you a success story.
Yeah, pretty much.
To be real, you say you went to Troy University. Most of the chicks we done grew up with ain't never really passed no high school or say they got a degree. That's not even forced here, especially when you say you're around people that's married and stuff like that. And I think those are a lot more of a small town mentality. You know what I mean? A close-knit family type stuff. Here we stepping on toes. So I can understand too, I hear how you talk. You speak very elegant. You know how to carry your words and stuff. That's new for me. You know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to tell you, did you felt when you left, and I want to tell you this because I want to see if you did you felt like you could be yourself being in Alabama compared to being in Miami? Because somewhat like you might have felt like you was a fish out of water.
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really great question. Being in Miami, I always kind of felt like like I was never fast enough for the girls, or how it is growing up in Miami. So I was always in the back.
Definitely.
Here, I feel like I'm me all day, every day. But back in Miami, I just always played the back role. Like, okay, y'all go, y'all go do y'all. I'll be right here waiting. I was always that type of person. So yeah, I feel like I could be myself here.
Do you ever felt like you was pressured to be anything else?
No, I think everybody always had an understanding that, and I was just about to say my nickname.
Oh, okay. Come on, Miss Awesome.
I was always that person that they always understood that she ain't gonna do that. Even now, like even when I come back home to Miami, I feel like they put me on this imaginary pedestal. Like they can't cuss around me, they can't talk about certain things around me, and I mean, like, just be y'all. Like I listen to rap music, I listen to these things, but I just don't indulge in a lot of stuff, and that's just me all the way around, and that's how I always been.
But however, that's not a bad thing either, because that means they have a certain level of respect. They know that now that you kind of elevate yourself to a higher state. And sometimes that's actually kind of good, because that type of influence, you kind of can influence your friends to want to do better too. Because like you can see Miami, most of the time when people in Miami, they choose to stay here, they choose not to elevate themselves to nothing higher than what they are. So to see someone like you to go to Alabama and to create your own business and to help, Black people and help the community, that is an awesome thing. That's why I see why I can call you Miss Awesome. Because it is awesome. It's a great thing to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
And to piggyback on what he's saying, Miss Awesome, how does it feel? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is like, and I'm just, how does it feel to be a role model? Where you at?
It's I can honestly say it's like I don't even know how to put it in words, because to my students, because I'm an instructor as well, to my students, I feel like a role model. I feel like I'm almost their peer, but they respect me enough to say, okay, Miss Merrill wants this, that, and the third. So it feels no different with them. But when it comes back to my family and they're telling me, dang, you did this, dang, you did that, it feels good because we're breaking generational curses, So for my students, I don't feel like a role model. I feel like somebody that's guiding them. But for my family, my nieces and nephews that's coming up, and they see the books and they see they see the degrees and stuff, and they like, wow, my auntie really did this. And now they looking like, hey, I want to go to this college. I want to do this, so it feels good.
But I hear that a lot. What is the generational curse?
So my mom, she had 11 kids, and she lived in housing for a long time. So, me going to college, my brother's going to college. My nephew, he's the first grandchild to this August. He'll be receiving his master's degree. Like, that's breaking so many curses right there alone,
Now, that's wonderful to hear that. That's very wonderful to hear that. And it's the same thing too. It's the same thing as for me, as far as, I got nephews and stuff who never been to jail before, which is, I honestly think is, and coming from where, because I'm a convicted felon, you feel me? And, I grew up in the city too. So I was privy to being exposed to certain things that I wish I couldn't. But, it is a reflection of society and, how we treat our own. Now, one thing I want to ask you is this, being in the position you are in and coming here to be on the outside looking in, because you grew up in the city, so you probably experience and see things that you probably can't even talk about. So what type of message do you try to convey to your people in Alabama and back home?
That you can be anything you want to be, as long as you put your mind to it, as long as you have the drive and the strive behind it. You can be anything that you want to be, including a billionaire.
Preach.
That's facts. That's facts. Do you ever
That
see
is
yourself
facts.
moving back to Miami?
No.
Whoa.
My brothers ask me that all the time. I have 7 brothers, and they always ask me, when you coming back home? I'm comfortable. I don't plan on ever moving back. Coming back to give back, yes, but I don't see me moving back.
Whoa.
I don't see it happening. Wait, what was that woo about?
No. It's a word like, whoa, I like to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Because, sometimes a lot of Miamians get that itch. You feel me? You know how you get that itch? Because, you know what I mean? Because I was gone for 11 years, and then I was like, man, I'm just going to come back and see what I can do. And it's crazy because you come back and it's just the same thing. You're not really missing nothing. You ain't really missing nothing.
I mean, doing the same thing over and over again I heard it's insanity. So I don't think I want to go insane trying to go backwards.
Preach.
That's been like my motto, ever since, because I'm gonna say this. When I moved up here starting my high school years up here. And with all my educational gaps that I had, things that I really didn't learn because, the city is fast paced. Yeah. So when I up here and I'm realizing all these things and I worked on all these things, I made a vow to myself to never go backwards. Even when I finished school in Troy, it was elevation from then on, and I just don't see myself going backwards. And if me going back home to Miami is backwards, then I don't need to go.
If there was a movie being shot about your life, who would you pick to play you?
I never thought about that. I never thought about that.
Yeah. I know that's probably a hard question.
That's a hard look. I can't even rebuttal anything for that because that's pretty steep.
Now let me ask you a question. I want to say, have everybody ever told you this? You give off like a preacher's wife vibe.
Listen, I was at the shop. At the shop. Mm-hmm. I was talking. No, I actually met this woman who just earned her PhD, mm-hmm. and in my book, it talks about this. I call them inspirational leaders, and God will put people in your path that's either there to help you or, to just give you a blessing, whatever. And this lady came into my life and she just like instantly adopted me. We was walking down the hallway and she was like, "This is my goddaughter," introduced me, and I just met her. But I forgot where I was going with this. But this lady, she told me, she said, "You sound like you're pastor already." And I said, "That's ironic that you say that, because I talk about it in my book too." That they told me that when I was younger, I used to say I was gonna be an evangelist all the time.
Mm-hmm. I can hear it in your voice, man. I just get that pastor wife that, you know what I mean, like let's pray together, you know what I mean? Like it's coming, like it's illuminating through the microphone.
Okay.
You know
I'll
what I mean?
take that.
It's illuminating, and I mean that as a compliment. You know what I'm saying? Like I never, it's been rarely a time I ever spoke to somebody and who just, you genuinely know they're nice and they're really just trying to do good. And that's what I'm hearing from you.
I can respect it. But yeah,
Yeah,
she
but,
told me that. I feel like ironic that you're saying that.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we're about to put you on the hot seat. I'm about to ask you some questions. This is actually some relationship questions. So are you dating anybody right now?
Definitely dating.
Okay.
Not in a relationship, but definitely dating.
Okay. Are you do you have kids?
No, I have no kids.
Praise the Lord.
Why you say praise the Lord? What people think is
no. I'm just saying, like, and and a lot of people, it just conveys on who you are as a person. You definitely whoever talked to you set you off on the right path. I got nothing to say. Like she's escaped every possible statistic we can set for her today. You supposed to be with 5 kids by now. You beat the odds.
Look, not 5.
No, for real, you beat the odds. He know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the odds. So I really don't know what to say. I'm speechless. You know what I'm saying? Like you was able to escape the Kraken. People get swallowed whole here in Miami.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad. I feel like God, in my book, talks about this as well. God has a path for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my readers not to look at no one else's path, because that might not be where God wants you to be at that set time. So, like, for me, I just feel like he knew me when I was formed in my mother's womb. He knew me before I came out, and he always had a plan for my life. And so God gave me a vision as when I was young. He had already showed me what my life would be like. And so either I had to go on his path or go the opposite way. And I just decided to go on his path.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Now, no, for real. Now I want to piggyback on what you just said. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go back to saying that you are a role model. And there's really, I can't, me and Ron really dissect people, but there's really nothing to dissect here. The thing I want to question is, by you being a hairstylist, because I don't think a lot of people understand the severity of your job too, because you also as a therapist as well, talking to a lot of these women, you do their hair, and the little girls that might tell you secrets and stories and stuff like that. So now, being who you are in the trials and tribulations you went to and making the best decision, how do you give them advice? You know what I mean? How do you click that on, or maybe click that off? Do you click that on and click that on, or like the social work in you while you're doing hair and stuff like that?
It's always in me. Like, I'm just a giver anyway, so I'm always giving. But when someone's sitting in my chair, I mean, it's just I'm an energy kind of person. So if the energy is there, we're gonna talk all day. I'm going to help you figure out your life. I'm going to help you figure out what you need to do next. I'm going to help you come up with a whole game plan while you're in my chair. I recently had one lady who was in my chair, and it was like a really strong spiritual connection while I was doing her hair. And we started talking about school. And she looked at me like she turned around and looked like in my soul or something. She was like, "How did you know I was trying to get in school?" I said, "You need to call those people and tell them to go ahead and let you in school or whatever. Y'all, she's still in school right now. And every time she just be thanking me. And I'm just like, man, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But I don't know. It's genuine.
That's
Wow,
beautiful.
that's amazing. Yeah.
That's very beautiful. Now, have you ever heard something that from one of your things that made you cry, or did you ever have to go above and beyond being a hairstylist, beyond being a social worker, especially with dealing with women? Because there's another question I want to ask on top of that.
I don't think I ever had to go above and beyond because they, most of the women that sit in my chair, they are already kind of, stable some sort, unless I'm doing like a mummy makeover. But most of them are stable. They got jobs. They're trying to make something of themselves. So I don't think I ever have to go above and beyond.
So you have a degree, but do you lean so you work for a nonprofit, but do you think you leaning more towards trying to make a full career, or leaning more towards trying to fully go head on becoming an entrepreneur?
Both.
Oh, so you want to try to do both at the same time?
So can I explain myself?
Yeah.
The reason why I say both is because a lot of us that grew up in poverty, we didn't grow up in money. So I use my degrees to get the money, and that's gonna, sponsor my dreams.
Facts. No, that makes perfect sense. We actually did a podcast episode about that as well. We were talking about how because some people tend to like want to quit their job. We were saying, no, don't quit your job. Use your job as an asset to use for your business or whatever dream you have aspired to become. Right. So that's actually really good. Your mindset is like a billionaire mindset. And that's why the only reason why I asked you a question about why do you come up with the idea of a billionaire mindset, because nowadays everybody trying to be wealthy or trying to have money. So a lot of people trying to sell books, and that's one of the things they always use, like, or have a millionaire mindset, or have an abundant mindset, or have a billionaire mindset. But the way you broke it down is really, really good. I love it.
Definitely.
It's crazy. You know what? And when I wrote my book, I never thought about it in a monetary sense anyways. But like the first day I, told the world I wrote a book, the next day it sold like 50 copies. Just, no pushing it, no nothing. It just sold by itself.
Crazy.
Because right now people trying to find a way out, especially our people. They really trying to find a way out. So anything that signifies money, they going to attack it head on. I'm not going to lie.
Now, Miss Awesome, I want to say your name so bad. That's how you could tell I'm from Miami, and the name's supposed to be easy for me to pronounce. For real, that's how I don't even care about linguistic skills and stuff like that. But where can we find your book? Where can we find your book, and where can we expect from Miss Awesome in the next 5 years?
You can find my book on payhip.com, The True Mind of a Billionaire, and on Amazon. Right now I have it on pause on Amazon because they love to get their coins. So you can find it on PayHip. I'll send you all the link. And in the next 5 years, I just see myself going a lot of places. Possibly owning my own organization from the ground up. Like, that's why I see myself.
Nice. You doing big things, man. I'm proud of you. If you never heard someone say proud of you, I'm proud of you.
So now, aside with you helping women and you focusing on the women aspect, so do you do anything with men, as far as, I don't know if your organization helps with any men, or do you maybe counsel men or any other aspect of that? Because I know you want to know one thing I noticed, a lot of female entrepreneurs, a lot of it be female based, and sometimes I think there's a lack of interaction with men involved. So I want to know if there's anything with that.
Well, okay. So for my personal organization, it's really geared towards the women. I really don't have much to offer the men, but I do work with a bunch of people in my community, and they always have things for men, young men, like cutting their hair, showing them how to, do a tie and stuff like that. So me personally, no. As far as the organization I work with, I am tough on them young men.
And I want to ask you a question. What is your opinion? What is your opinion right now about manhood? What is your opinion about right now when it's pertaining to manhood?
Oof.
Men and women.
Oof. I don't know. This is a different kind of generation. I can definitely say that. And I just I don't know. that's
you making that noise. You making that noise. I mean, you do know. You're just afraid to say it. Go ahead. You can say it.
I mean, that's a whole nother conversation right there. That's gonna open up some. I don't know.
Yeah, it will. But just for the sense of context, I just want to like we can just speak on it just for a little bit. I just want to know like because we try to ask our guests, especially when it comes to women, like what's their opinion about now when it comes to men, because a lot of women always say men now became weak. Women are now taking more of charge. And all of that, women are now taking more of leadership roles. As you can see, like yourself, you say you're doing multiple businesses. Most of the time, you don't even hear men talking like that. So that's why I say that.
Speak
that's why
from the context of you, as far as you doing your business and how it reflects on how do men perceive you in your community? How do men perceive you?
Are they threatened by you? Do they appreciate you? Do they admire you? Or do they straight up hate you?
Okay. Okay, I'll talk about that first. So men in my community, I really rarely have men even ever step to me. And so I asked a guy one time, I was like, why guys don't approach me? And he was like, you really want to know? I was like, yeah. He was like, you look mean. That was one thing.
That's a damn lie. That must be them country niggas.
Yeah. Because you look mean at all. She's smiling. She's always smiling.
And listen, as fine and red as you is, they say you look mean.
They say I look mean. And then another thing is now when I get real personal with the guy, I feel a sense of intimidation because I think the last relationship I was in, this guy kept telling me nothing he ever did for me was good enough. And I'm very easy to please. I'm just not going to allow any bull crap. I'm going to say crap because that's the best sense of word to use right now. But I don't allow too much bull crap because if I'm out here doing what I got to do to earn my degrees to, keep a job, keep money in my pocket and keep my bills afloat, you need to be doing the same thing.
Do you see a difference from Miami dudes that perceive you being an entrepreneur, being somebody with degrees compared to dealing with Obama? My bad. I said Obama. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to. Yeah.
I'm not like. Let's see. I don't know because I haven't been home, so I don't really have guys from Florida, at me for real. Because I've been up here almost.
Are you sure? Because we probably check your DM. You probably got like a tons of guys waiting to date you. You just trying to be nice.
Look, I'm trying to be modest, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're on the podcast, you're trying to be modest, and you got guys trying to ask you out from Bama and to Florida. Come on now.
I mean, I have a few guys from Florida that's willing and wanting to date me, but
You see how she making that noise? She do. She got somebody that she likes. She just don't want to say nothing.
No, definitely. But here's the thing. I gotta give you credit. You are what a lot of thug niggas and guys who converting to being would want. To be honest with you, you speak very well. I love the fact you have standards. You know what I mean? I could say your mother did a beautiful job and your grandma.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I love the way you dress. You like, to be honest with you, if you didn't tell me you was from Miami, especially, God has recommended, anything God has recommended, we're going to support her, even though she be having her foot on her neck. You feel me? Like she be having her foot on her neck, like straight up.
Yeah, God is forever. She know who we talking about.
She know who we talking about. She be having they have our foot on her neck. But for you, you know what I mean? It's like tears of joy. You feel me? Like I'm really applauding you.
Thank you. I don't know. And see, I don't do well. I ain't gonna say I don't do well with compliments. I just don't know what to do, and I just like.
Well, you don't know what to do with it. I could see you, to be honest with you, the type of person you. I could see you like if it was like sky's the limits for you. I could see you becoming like the city mayor or something like that. You have that attribute. You know what I mean? Or if you wanted to be a pastor, you have that attribute. You speak very well. You seem very believable. You know what I mean? You don't have no like, and then another thing too, what is real pivotal about this type of stuff, and I don't think people understand this. Whatever your life goes, determine your validity as far as when you start to speak on certain subjects. The fact that you're your age, you have a degree, you have no kids, your voice is not saying a woman who doesn't have kids, but your voice is a lot more powerful because you came from the same effed up situation we did, but you proved to us that it's all about a choice.
Yeah, fact.
Wow.
Preach on it.
I think that's
really good. She beat the odds. Yeah.
You know, the when you say it's all about a choice, I think I actually put one of those that word in a journal that I'm creating for my students. And choices, hey, that's something you got to make some choices in life. And I always talk to them about that. Like,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, but my students, they just be doing the most sometimes.
I can only imagine. Listen, I grew up in the city just like you. I'm just as, you know what I mean? My parents were very focused on education. I grew up in a 2-parent household. I wanted to be in the streets. Wow. I wanted to be in the streets. I'm an avid reader. My mother used to read books to me as a little kid. So I read tons, even when I went to jail. So, I can convey myself in a certain point, but being in these type of environments can sway people different ways. So it ultimately is like my choice wanted to, plus I wanted bad women. I ain't gonna even sit here and lie to you.
That's funny that you say that. It's like certain things that I want to talk about, I can't talk about because of confidentiality.
Yeah.
Of course.
But it's funny that you say that. It'll be if my students listen to this podcast, they'll be like, right, Miss Merrill, what he said.
Listen, and I want you to listen. I'm trying not to curse. She is the one you need to listen to. You're safe in her hands because listen here, she come from the same place I come from, and you know what I mean. And it's all about a choice. You know what I mean. And one thing I want to point out too that I think that needs to be talked about too. And I wanted to ask you this: you from Miami? Peer pressure is a big thing here.
Right.
Yeah.
Peer pressure is a big thing here. This is my brother here. I'm a little bit older than him. We come from the same area. And I can be a man enough to tell you that peer pressure forced me into the streets, forced me to want to be accepted by people. Because the thing about this in our own community, we alienate the people who are different. If somebody like Anna Mae, if a girl doesn't want to sleep with you too fast, we'll say, man, that hoe tripping. Or she want to play good girl, not knowing that values and morals is where you want to be. Going to the streets ain't nothing. Being a hoe is not really going to do you any well. So the fact that you was able to leave and not let peer pressure, let's be honest about this, having your own mind says a lot about who you are as a person. So I can only imagine when you become a wife and a mom, where I could think that your kids are going to be okay.
I don't know. The kids gonna still have to make those choices you talked about.
No, definitely. But it's people like you who had one foot outside and one foot in. Not saying you did that, but you came from poverty. You know what I'm saying? I try to tell my nephews and stuff like that. I put out my arrest records on my bed and show him this what I was arrested for. This what I was this. I say, since I've been a convicted felon, I have struggled to get a job this amount of years. So I had no choice but to become an entrepreneur. I was forced into this way, knowing that I can speak very highly. I can write my ass off. That don't mean nothing after you catch a felony.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The ghetto eats its own.
Yeah, called second-class citizen.
You know what I'm saying?
That's where we become a felon.
So having a true mind of a billionaire is where you need to go. And that's the thing. So the thing is, what message do you want to tell everybody? You know what I mean? Because, we promote, like, what do you want to tell people all over the world, or, you know what I mean, from your heart? What do you want them to know? Like, what message would you want them to give them?
I just feel like we can't choose the families that we're born into. We can't choose the way we grow up. But when we hit 18 years of age, we have the opportunity to make our own choices, to make our own decisions. And we see it every day. We see successes. We see, people that's unsuccessful, but we have the opportunity to make those choices to go either way. And I just feel like y'all, as young people, need to find better choices to make to create a better life for you. You don't have to remain in poverty. You don't have to, remain stagnant. You can elevate. And it doesn't take a 4-year degree sometimes. It just takes an education to be educated. Grab a book, sit down, read it, do what you got to do. Elevate yourself. Google whatever you need to do to get where you need to go. Do it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Preach.
Praise the Lord.
Yeah, now that's some fire wisdom, man.
Fire wisdom.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to ask you too. This is my final question. I want to ask you, how did the COVID pandemic impact your business? Did it impact or it didn't?
I was not doing hair prior to the pandemic. What was I doing before the pandemic? I think I was just working, doing social work.
Okay.
But when the pandemic hit, I guess I sat around for so long. I said I need to get back up and start doing hair. So
the pandemic kind of actually got you on the ball rolling doing hair again, pretty much.
Yes, and I finished my book during the pandemic as well. So the pandemic, my inspirational leader, my mentor, she told me that God's children will not hurt during the pandemic, and I really I want it for
that was a fact.
Facts.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt like during the pandemic, a lot of people made a lot of money. God's children made a lot of money.
I ain't trying to cut you off, but let me say this. The pandemic was a blessing for a lot of people, but a lot of people messed up their blessings because they were just out here doing whatever with whatever. Okay?
Facts.
But it was an opportunity to elevate our community for us to be ahead because, as most of us know, that we were not born into money. It's up to you to take the money that was given to you to elevate yourself. But a lot of them kind of just blew it.
You better preach, Miss Awesome.
But now I can say for our community, because I'm still friends with a lot of people from Miami. Like my whole friend list is Miami, and I seen a lot of our young Black people creating businesses. I don't know if it was for the PPPs, but a lot of them was creating businesses, and it really really made me happy to see our young Black people create businesses and stuff like that. So
that was so definitely 100% agree with you. And
I can too. Yeah,
we have seen the shift. So man, sweetheart, like I really don't got no more to ask you because I think you're a shining light and a prime example of a woman, a respectable woman. You know what I mean? And I mean that no disrespect to people from Miami, but or Alabama, you know what I'm saying, or wherever. But you rub me the right way. I think this might be my favorite episode.
I actually really did enjoy this podcast.
We some unique type of men,
Let me tell y'all what I get from this podcast. I feel like y'all are very educated men, and y'all seem like y'all gonna be the shift of this generation. And I pray that over y'all, and I pray that y'all get into y'all communities and get these young boys right. Because
thank you, sister, and I'm gonna receive it in the name of Jesus.
Yeah, I receive that.
I'm gonna receive it because here's the thing here. They call us the boys club over here, but Miss Awesome, we really want to promote marriage. We really want to promote monogamy. We really want to rebuild the Black family here. This is our whole reason here, coming from Miami. The same things you talk about, this is the same things me and him used to have these conversations. That, hey, we just need to come out here and talk and try to get it from more, even on a more local level, like speaking to the government and stuff about that, because we know what we need to fix. The biggest thing is to fix the family. And once we can fix the family in the house and get closer to God, I'm not going to allude to that. And I always tell, man, you need to find a wife. And when you find a wife and be stable, huh?
Find a good thing.
Find a good thing.
Breach.
You know what I'm saying? And this is our dream to rebuild black men. Black men to make them suitable husbands for black women. Because here's the thing. Y'all women are doing it. There's nothing for us to tell y'all. But there's a lot of reason too. There's a lot of social and economical things which puts a lot of black men down. So we're trying to rev them up like an engine in another way so we can make more black men marry more black women and to build these nuclear families so we can start filling up these houses.
We need to. Because let me tell you, this generation is...
Yeah, I know that. We're aware of it. It's all out of order.
Out of order ain't the word, and you know what I mean. And this is. Go ahead.
We could go deep to it back when it started, the separation of families.
Oh.
Our black men.
Yeah. She knows.
It goes way back, all the way to the
1980.
civil laws.
Listen.
She knows. She knows
what she's talking about.
She knows exactly what she's talking about. We got a part we going on for another segment, but she knows.
So definitely, man, it was just a blessing to talk to you, Miss Awesome. And listen, I know your students gonna butcher this because he said, "How you can't say her name?" Because I'm from Miami and I got a public school education.
I tell them all the time. I got to.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's my final words. Unless you got something else you want to convey. You know what I mean? We before we go.
No, I'll have y'all on here on this podcast all night.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Ron.
So in that case, Hakeem, that being said, KR Culture Radio, guys.
We out. Man, I just appreciate y'all just listening. Stay tuned for the next episode.